Holy schmoly. Would you look at that? What on earth? That's not right. What the blooming heck's happening over here? We've got a strip. Look at that. Look at that. I've missed a bit. Well, this is interesting. Clearly I have missed a bit going up and down, putting my treatments on. I can't believe I've done that. We'll just give it a mow. Let's see what it looks like.
Silly me, thinking you and her could work things out. I'm a third wheel on this broken car. You're a mess, just wanna get out. Silly you, why is it so hard to be real? Speak the truth, say you're sorry, hear her out. You're too proud, like a child. You think time.
It's not looking too bad. It's just literally that bit in the middle that's slightly different colour. Now the only other thing it could possibly be, rather than me missing, is potentially grubs. Now there's a hole here which came about a few days ago, and the soil was on the side, and there has been the odd little bird pecking at little places, and that's Tilly wanting to play, isn't it? She loves to play, don't you? So there may well be some grubs. There may well be some grubs. I did see a little chafer grub in the side. Now I don't know, I haven't checked to see if you can lift it up. And it's quite firm there, and it's quite firm there, and it's quite firm there. So potentially the birds are just literally getting hungry because their natural food sources like berries and worms, well not so much worms, but other food sources are starting to become less. So they're starting to peck at the lawn, which is what they generally do in autumn anyway. So we've got a couple of options. We either just ignore it and we carry on doing our normal treatments, or we can put something on. It doesn't actually look too bad now. I think it's more to the naked eye. But you can just see that section there in the middle is a slightly different colour. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to dig a couple of squares. We'll just have a bit of an inspection. I suspect it's nothing more than just missing the products in that section. There may be the odd grub. I'm not too worried about the odd one. Do you know, if you are feeding your lawn, even though there's grubs, the grass is still healthy. And yes, the roots are getting eaten up from the bottom, but if you keep watering and keep feeding and mowing regular, the grass is then pushing those roots back down. So it all depends as to what level you take that. Let's have a dig. So when you are testing, you don't want to just like make a mess, because you want to put all this back in nice and neat. So find an area which is stressed, and that area looks quite stressed, so just go slightly to the side of it, because if there are any grubs, they would have eaten those roots and then moved to the side. You should, if there are grubs, be able to lift this up like a carpet, because all the roots are detached from the soil, and that's pretty solid. So I don't think we have a major grub problem. I think we've literally just missed. It's solid, absolutely solid. Normally you lift it up like that, but we'll have a dig anyway. Go in about 6 inches and just carefully tease it out, and then make a square the width of your spade. Okay, you want this as neat as possible, because you will be putting it back. Now to take it out, what I normally do is just put my hand on and just gently tease things back, nice and steady. If it's not coming out, go to the other side. Just loosen things up and tease it out. until you get this. So what we can see here, we have good long deep roots. Now that is about 6 inches long, so we know the roots are going all the way down to at least 6 inches. When there are grubs, this will all fall apart really easily, but structurally it's holding itself fairly well. Okay, I did see an earthworm, and earthworms are a sign of good soil, but I cannot see anything there that's giving me the impression of having problems with grubs. So I'm not going to disturb this too much, but when it's crumbly you can just peel this back a little bit and have a look inside. Just prise things apart and have a look, and have a little look down there as well. Normally I take this out and I have a good look round, but because I'm quite confident with this, I want to put everything back how it was. There's the other part of the earthworm. They're amazing things, aren't they? All part of the soil ecosystem. And an important part. And then just push it back down. Use your feet to just gently push it into place. Okay. If it's a dry day, give it a good watering, and these will knit back together. You can use your fingers and push in and down to push the joints closer together, and that's it. Make sure everything's standing up and the grass can accept the sunlight onto each of those blades of grass. This will all fill in and look good. So I'm quite happy. I think we're just going to get some more products on down this centre section and then we'll crack on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of this fertiliser. It's not the same as the one that went down, which was A1 spring. No, it wasn't. It was A1 autumn winter. So I'm just going to stick some down this middle section, and then I'm going to stick a few more bits, some liquids on. I'm going to take the dogs in shortly. I've just made up a mixture in here. It's like a much smaller amount of what I normally put on the lawn, which is emerald green, a bit of Pro-Kleen, which is seaweed with iron, and some liquid nitrogen. So I'm just going to spray it on this middle bit. A very, very brief watering in. We're also starting to get some weeds creeping in, and we haven't put a weed killer down for several months. We've got some dandelions, and this is all creeping in, and it comes in. So we're going to get something on that, and we do have some difficult weeds. And where are we? Got some speedwell somewhere. Where it is? That's looking pretty good, look. Do you remember we seeded there? That's all filled in really nice. Once that thickens, it's going to start going really well. Maybe I've managed to get rid of it. But basically, what I'll do, I'll give you that pointer now. If you've got any weeds which are hard to kill and they don't generally die, what you can do is get some of this. Now I've been mentioning this, all weed all for lawns, but this is Resolver. Yeah, so this stuff is pretty good. It's got Mecaprop P and dicamberin, which you can see on the back. Where does it say? Right at the bottom there. Mecaprop P and dicamba, which is the stuff that is in a lot of the weed killers that we use commercially. So basically, if you get some of this, it has to say lawn weed killer or for lawns. Kills weeds, not grass. Do not get the other resolver, which I think is a red or a black container. If you get those, it will kill your grass, okay? What you do with this, you spray it onto your weed, and then usually they will die off. But if you have difficult weeds, what you've got to do is spray them once a week. And usually within 2, 3, maybe 4 applications, you find that you've killed them. They'll be turning black or grey and starting to curl up on the edges of the leaf of the weed. Now always make sure you do not exceed the maximum number of doses per year. And with this one, maximum number of applications is 2 per year. What you could possibly do is dilute that mixture down by a little bit so it's going on at a slightly weaker rate in case you want to put a third application on. But always best to follow the instructions and apply at the recommended dosage. Keep away from any water sources, ponds, things like that, because it will kill all your fish. So I'm going to apply some weed killer on now. I'm going to spray the whole lawn, but if you've got any plans for doing any additional seeding, which I have, this very corner there's a little patch that hasn't taken because the dog ran over it and I didn't put any fleece on, and her paw churned it and I saw her do it. So I'm going to spray all of the lawn apart from the patches that I want to seed, because weed killer and seeds do not mix well together. So here we've got a hole. Don't know if it was the dog digging, it could easily have been, or a bird. Either way, there was a grub, and possibly the dog has smelt the grub, because the grub was laid on its side just there. So I put some soil in just to bring the levels back up once again. Yeah, and I'll be 5 minutes, I'll come and get it. Firm it down, find a bit of seed, you can either do topsoil or compost on top, really don't matter. Compost is getting some organic stuff into the ground, so just use whatever you've got, and organic in the ground is always a good thing. On sandy soils it helps to improve the structure, on clay soils it helps to break the clay apart and bring the organics in, which then encourages earthworms, which helps to break everything down. So it's good no matter what you do. There you go guys, it's looking pretty darn good. I'm happy with that. It's defining really, really nice now. And also, we planted seed in here last week. If you remember from last week's video, we're starting to see some new shoots of green grass. So all good. So feel free to check out any of the videos on either side of the screen right now. They'll help you with your lawn care journey. Thanks for watching. See you again.